good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first vice presidential debate. And during this debate, we'll be talking about two subjects with our great and candidates. So we have Phoenix on the left and Nick on the right. And I will start by asking one of you a question. You will give me an answer, and then I'll go to the next candidate and I'll ask for an answer from the other one. Are we ready to begin, gentlemen and gentle lady and people of Born? Alright, so the first question is for Nick. The first question is for the skeleton. I don't have anything on me. Wait, I need to set my spawn. Oh no, guys, because my spawn is like 50 blocks, so it's like 500 blocks away. Wait, I need to find a bed. No, help.
We might want to restart this.
Help. No, it's going. This is going in. Alright, this is going in.
No!
I was about to say, leave this in,
This is going in.
This is so
This is
unprofessional.
Find a bed.
It's fine, that's the whole point. This entire thing is unprofessional.
Alright.
No, let's
That's the
just
point. Can we
sleep. Let's
please
do
go to
this in
bed?
the daytime, please. Dear God. The
Alright,
villagers
yeah,
is
let's,
just staring at you. Oh shit. All the beds are occupied. Bitch, move.
Let me get.
All the beds are occupied.
Alright, give me food. Give your president food.
Alright, hey, I'll give you food. Give me
Here!
a second,
Jesus,
man.
turn
Good
around.
Lord.
Earn.
Oh, dang, man, that's such a problem, man. All the beds are occupied. Well, you know, guess I can solve that problem real quick. Anyway.
Alright.
All the
Let's go.
villagers are looking at you guys from downstairs.
How dare you run? We run for no man.
Good thing I'm a woman.
We run for no person. Alright, so.
Oh! I did that because you smacked me!
The first question is for Nicholas. Alright, so. What is your vision for the townsfolk, the village, the people down below?
I envision... That's a good question. I would say that personally, I envision true equality. I envision the base principle of Aramar, which is a democracy. We are a democratic society, and that's my vision. I envision a society where we are free to voice our opinion without criticism, where we are allowed to have basic human rights, and that's what I envision.
Alright, well, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. And to the other candidate, what is your answer?
Well, you see, the village is looking kind of bland at the moment. There's not much things for the villagers to do, so they wake up every day, they just walk around and prance around a little bit, they go to sleep. I envision giving them more purpose in their life, because they're not doing much. They don't necessarily feel like they need to leave the house. They're all just stuck in the house. Mental health is a very big thing here, my guy.
Yes. Good answer. Moving on to the next question. Economy. So far, we do not have a lot of trade with the other countries. What is our approach to foreign trade with the opposing nations? And this question is going to Phoenix first.
My approach towards it is possibly getting something that would entice them to continue to trade with us, to continue to associate with us, and keep a nice, stable society. So let's say, like, netherite items to entice them. Slowly move into it, because they can be questionable sometimes. That's something we can all agree on. And
Well, that's a bit
slowly...
of a controversial statement.
Well, yes. Depending on how you
Like, I'm
look
sure
at
you
it.
could ask them down there.
depending on how you look at it. For the people that have actually faced them, depending on how they feel about you, they will be aggressive towards you. Whereas if they like you, they will be like, "Yo, what up, dude?" So, I would say get something to entice them. Then, after they've been intrigued and enticed, because they're a German society, they're going to be very standoffish because that's the stereotype, and they want to hold to that stereotype because that's the whole point of their leaders,
Hmm.
premise there. So
Well,
after we entice
uh,
them, sit down, talk to them.
an intriguing answer. And what about you, Nick? How would you go about expanding the trade of our country?
I have a long answer to this one. First off, I feel that our own economy is quite honestly not the best. I feel like we could use more resources such as iron or just gold, anything along the lines of that. And I feel like while foreign trade is important, it's also important we focus on our own economy and not have to rely on the trade with others to better our economy. We have to be self-sufficient in case trade were to eventually collapse. And we have to approach trade from a very, not necessarily an untrustworthy standpoint, but more of a cautious standpoint. Not oh, I don't trust you, but I'm taking precautions because I don't know what you're going to do, if that makes sense. We have to look at trade as something like this is something that I'm approaching you to do, but it's not something that I'm going to 100% continue if I see fit. If we become self-sufficient before we start trade, that would be amazing. If we can be self-sufficient and trade, that would also be very good for our economy. But like I said, I feel we need to prioritize becoming self-sufficient in our economy before it can rely on the trade with others.
Interesting answer, interesting answer. For the next question, as far as expansionism goes, we have a large country, but as you can see so far, we have only gotten this little town. We have much land over there filled with trees, and while nature is important, we must learn to stabilize housing. And how do you plan to do this? What kind of housing are you prepared to propose, and how do we want to expand the roads, and more specifically, the people into farther reaches of this land? This question is going to Nick as the starter.
That's definitely a very interesting concept. For me, I guess expansion would be... For me, I think we need to prioritize the bettering of what we already have before we start expanding everywhere else. Like the way I like to think about it is look at playing an instrument, such as the guitar, for example. You can know 100 songs, but if you can play those 100 songs terribly, it doesn't mean anything. But if you know one song that you can play phenomenally, that's going to impress people. So for me, I feel we need to better what we have before we decide to start expanding. And Phoenix made a very good point earlier about bettering the lives of the villagers, which I agree with. I think that we need to better the lives of the people in our existing territory before we can decide to expand elsewhere and open up new opportunities for ourselves. We need to take it we need to take the concept of expansion a little bit slower, I feel. We need to take it bit by bit to make sure we're not overdoing it and to make sure that we are creating the best environment possible.
Very, very interesting answer, very in-depth answer. Moving on to you, Phoenix. What was your response?
Honestly, what I feel like we could do with this area, like of trees over here expanding, we need a farm for the villagers. The villagers, there's a lot of farmers down there that don't have means to be able to support their family because there's no farms for them to farm. I think we could utilize the space for farming and trade posts for these villagers, and the economy could benefit off of self-sufficient trade within our town.
Very interesting, very interesting. And now we'll move on to the next topic.
Sorry.
He's got a weapon!
I see a creeper. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, protecting our lands. protecting our
Okay.
lands with his own hand.
Alright, yep, okay, the creeper's fine. We're
That's-
good. Sorry about that. False alarm.
Oh, we got a brave citizen over. Oh no, they're being brave. Look, they're trying to push them away out of their lands. What are they doing? Oh, taking action against the monsters that plague our world. Yes, yes, yes. Moving on to the next question. It attributes to foreign policy. So, as you all know, we are currently not allied, but in peaceful terms. We are at peace with the other nation. Oh, finally getting the killing blow, Phoenix over there, protecting our people. But we are currently at peace with the other country. However, we have gained intelligence knowing that they are starting to expand a little more militaristically and a little more aggressively. So, what would be our response to that under your supervision? This question is going to go to Phoenix first.
Well, militaristic ideas. I do think that we need to work more towards, like, I agree with what Nick has said in the past. We need to better our economy with, like, resources and stuff like that, where we need to become self-sufficient, because if we're not self-sufficient, then we can't have a successful military and a successful militaristic approach, because we don't have the resources to support said military. So I think that's something we could do with that, is get like a nice little base plan for a militaristic approach and expansion, and then after going for that, then bringing in resources to be able to support this idea, then put it into place.
So you would want to support a militaristic push forward.
Well, yes. We need to be able to defend ourselves if something happened.
Interesting. Nick, what is your response to this?
See, I've been thinking quite a lot about approaching the military standpoint, and I believe that expansion is good, but we don't need to take it. It shouldn't be something that shouldn't become our 100% focus. We shouldn't become a militaristic society where militias are formed from the common citizens and, the citizens are the army. That's not what I believe should happen. I believe we need to have a separate group for the military if because history has shown that if there is too much militarization in a society, then that militarization will start to control the entire society. The military will, and the government will start to control everything. And so I think we need to look at, how can we better our military in preparations for possible war without it going overboard and consuming everything. We need to have almost a separate almost a sort of a separation between the common citizens and the military.
Very interesting, very interesting. Now we have one last question to address to Nick this time. What is your vision for our country? What do you want to take our country? What direction do you want to take it? And more specifically for your campaign, what slogan do you want to run by? What do you want to stand by on your run for vice president?
So, I'll be honest. I don't necessarily have a slogan, but I do have a set of things that I want to reinforce in my campaign, a set of ideas. I want to reinforce the idea that we give back what the citizens of Aramar put in. They're not just going to be working and working for nothing. I want the citizens to feel that their work has purpose and that it has meaning. I want them to feel like when they wake up in the morning and go to work, they are working to better their lives and the lives of the people around them. I feel like we need to provide, be it healthcare, be it basic housing plans, be it anything. We need to have some way to give back to our citizens. We need to have a way to say, hey, you're important. Every single citizen in Aramar is what matters most. Because if we didn't have the citizens we have now, Aramar would be nothing. And we need to reinforce that while yes, the government is important and the military is important and the economy, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about all those things forever. But when it comes down to it, the thing that makes up Aramar is the citizens, and we need to remind them that they are important and that they matter to the betterment and the everlasting survival of this great state.
Very interesting, very interesting. Phoenix?
So, now, something I will say. Nick, I was thinking about that while listening to him. Earlier, in an earlier question, I did say that we should give the villagers purpose, right? Because they're not really doing anything. Yes. Mental health is a very, very interesting thing. And, like, as I'm saying, going forward with this country, I do agree with what Nick's saying, is, we need to be able to give back to our citizens. Another thing being, I would like to expand this place. Like, we don't have any healthcare to give to the villagers. We need to be able to build a hospital or even like a med bay for their town, because it's a small village at the moment, and I do have plans through my campaign to expand and make it a nice little city, and in that point then it would become a hospital. But at the moment it would have to be a med bay. We'd have, they would be working in there doing things that they absolutely love. There's a baby zombie attacking one of the villagers.
Save him!
He's been changed.
No! Oh, this is terrible. Protect your president! I'm out! I'm out!
I'm trying to do so, sir! You're safe, sir. Sir. Okay. I'm going back to my post. Continue what I was saying.
It's okay. Well, after this, we have to mourn the loss of our friend, Billy Bob Joe.
Yes, we need to hold a funeral. That's another thing. We should like, because they don't have anywhere.
At the cemetery?
They don't
honor the dead?
Yeah, they don't have anywhere to mourn their dead brethren, their dead family. They just bury them. They don't have any way to bury them with, respect. That's another thing we should probably implement is a system where they can mourn the loss of their loved ones respectfully.
Yes.
But I would like to say, with this going forward with the country of Aramor, let's make Aramor great.
Okay. Well, this has been a very interesting debate, and I'm sure the people will have their own opinions on what to do. So if you want to make any speeches or present any ideas, just let me know, and we will let the footage be released, and it will let people make up their own minds on what they want to vote, who they want to vote for. So thank you for coming. You may leave now. Get off my podium.